If that doesn't get your blood pumping, I don't know what will. Hello, team. Welcome to Next Level JJ. I'm JJ, and today we are hitting the Nürburgring with one of the best touring cars I think ever made. Um, yeah, so good to have you here. I'm not gonna lie, I've been excited about this all week. Just unleashing a car around the green hell is truly one of the highlights for me as a gamer. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more about me, please head over to my website, nextleveljj.com. Everything you need to know is there. Of course, socials are in there, ways you can support me. But also importantly, my schedule. I switch it up. I play different games virtually every day. And so if you have a particular game style, then it's worthwhile checking out my schedule. But hey, I think the key thing about this channel is actually trying to take things to the next level. And, that means trying various games and just always trying to see what we can do to have a little bit more fun. So other things that are happening this weekend. So I am going to be playing Battlefield after the stream, but it's with a bunch of buddies that, we don't want to do the streaming because, we like to potentially say certain things that I don't think is good for my channel. But so we're going to have a bit of fun with that, but I'll definitely be doing some more Battlefield content next week. I'm very keen to get really good with helicopters as well. I did a stream a few days ago just on how to be a good recon, so how to be a good sniper and stuff like that. So I'm going to continue with that as a little bit of a meta segment. Meta segment. Try to say that 3 times. So nothing about me. The music you're listening to right now, we're switching it up today, but we're still using Stream Beats by Harris Heller. Shout out to them. They have such a wide variety of songs that you can listen and play to, and a lot of those songs are good enough to make it to my liked list, not just when I'm streaming. So, but I thought today we'd play something a little bit more energy. So hopefully enjoying it. You can just see the album just over there. Another thing that you'll find on my website is my top 100 list. And so in short, I've created a list of games that I have played and love to play again, or games that I've never played. And the whole idea is we can start chipping away at this list. You can help me. I want you to join our community. There's going to be games that are not on that list that you think, holy crap, why is that not on the list? That's how you sign up. That's how you give it through to us. And then we're going to set up a voting system where all the members will be able to just decide what game we're going to play next. And then we'll give it a go, give it a ranking, and then move on. So go and check it out. You'll be surprised. I think there's some old games in there, new games in there, some just classics. So yeah, go and check that out. Of course, everything you need is in the description below. So, all my socials, click on that. Now, focusing on today. So I follow quite a few streamers, as you do, and one of the guys that I follow is called Jimmy Broadbent. Now, if you're not into racing, then you probably don't know Jimmy Broadbent. Well, at least racing streaming, but I look up to this guy so much, right? So Jimmy Broadbent, basically, he started in a shed, okay, literal shed. Like if you go and Google Jimmy Broadbent shed, you'll see in his backyard a little wooden shed, perfect for a young kid to live in the backyard. And so he basically set up right next to his bed. His bed was almost always in shot at the start. Right next to his bed, he's sim rig, and he just started doing sim streaming content and just keep chipping away at it. And I mean, he's just got a fantastic voice. It's going to be a bit controversial, but I would liken his voice very similar to a Murray Walker without maybe the higher pitch parts, but he just got a fantastic voice. And he's just a happy, awesome guy. His content is always funny, meme laden. I'm going to, in the coming years, strive to be able to make at least not the streams themselves, but the recordings that you cut up afterwards, as fun to watch as Jimmy Broadbent. And so yeah, anytime I just want to sit back, relax, and have some fun. His sim racing steward stuff is also legendary. So in the description below, I believe I put in a link to the video that he made that inspired me to do this particular stream today. But obviously you can follow that and get all of his information. So shout out to Jimmy Broadbent, you are the GOAT. Maybe something more to say about him. He started as a sim racer in a shed. He now continuously races at the Nürburgring in the GT4 class, and I can just see him eventually reaching GT3. But he does all kinds of real racing as well. He's got cool cars. It's just a lover of cars. So super cool. Now, how do we get here? How do we get to Raceroom? So I was sitting back watching it, and Jimmy, he covers a lot of the various types of sim racing things that are out there. There's A new one's just came out, a set, of course, a rally, which looks really good. I'm definitely gonna do some rally content, in the not too distant future. Break my wrists and get a proper workout. But anyway, so he showed a video of him, or he did a stream, I guess, as well, of him playing Raceroom. Now, I'm gonna shoot straight with you. I've been into racing games and just cars my entire life, but I'm not a hardcore sim enthusiast. I like it, playing it. I've obviously got a steering wheel, but I'm not the person who's just literally playing sim all the time. As you can see from my schedule, I like playing all games. I've definitely spent the most of my sim racing career in Gran Turismo, from 1 all the way through to GT7 now. I'm very proud to say that I got a platinum trophy in Gran Turismo 4 and 5. And for those who know, that is a massive achievement, because as a Gran Turismo 4, I believe, has a endurance league, which means you have to complete 2 24-hour races, 2 12-hour races, and so a lot of racing. One day I'll talk about the 24 hours that I raced at Le Mans with the Peugeot 908 HDCI, whatever it was, and it rained for 23 hours. And by the way, side note, if you find that you're not good at a racing game, play for 24 hours with rain, with a over 1,000 horsepower, hypercar LMP1 class vehicle. You will learn the fine arts of making your right and left foot pedal like a boss. But anyway, so back to Raceroom. Didn't know much about it, but I think many people who are into racing have always been a massive fan of touring cars. If you imagine the British Touring Car Championships, the DTM, there's various versions of that over the years, but there was this golden period in the 90s where touring cars were just, in my opinion, the best. Right now, if you look at touring car racing in general, it's way more technologically advanced, way more aerodynamics, and it doesn't feel to me like it's the same as the cars that we're driving on the road. Of course, there are touring car championships around the world that is very close to that, but maybe I've just not following them that much. And I think that's a problem these days. Back in those days, what did you have to watch? You had Formula One, you had touring car championship, and some rally. That was it. Those are the 3 things, and you looked forward to it, and it was scheduled. Now we have an overflow of content, so you can just watch everything. And so now we just, me included, just watch Formula One and the Aussie V8s, which, by the way, if you're watching from somewhere else in the world, if you want to see, I almost swore, fucking great racing content, then go and check out the Aussie V8s. I mean, it's just the shizzle manizzle. But so massive Farad touring cars, and back in those days we had so many competitors. I'm going to try and name at least a few of them. We can check it over a second in Raceroom. But there's Renault, there's Volvo, there's Vauxhall, there was Alfa, there was BMW. Not 100%. Mercedes-Benz was definitely in there. Audi was in there, if I haven't mentioned them. Pretty much all the major manufacturers, they were in there. And what happened is obviously there was, not balance of power, but there was definitely, some, way to try and make the cars as even as possible. But still, they were fantastically fun racing cars. And I think also the speed at what they went was not so hardcore that, it was obviously dangerous, but it was at that point where they could really race close to each other. They could bump, they could scrape. There's some absolutely legendary videos of drivers just bumping each other, squeezing through corners, hitting curbs, flipping, which obviously you probably saw if you watched the little video and the image of this stream. That's quite common for these cars to lift up a little bit on the inside. And so, massive fan of that. And I'm sure there are other racing sims out there that has really good, British touring car or touring car in general, cars and races and stuff like that. But when Jimmy put his first video up of him just racing around, I was like, holy hell, this looks amazing. And then he did another one where you could see, for a person who's done sim racing for the majority of his life, he was having real fun, like genuine fun. And because of that, it just made me super keen to give it a go. Now, Jimmy, wow, how's this for a song? Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. Not all songs are created equal. Let's skip that one for now. Nothing wrong with it, just not for my stream right now. But you could see in his eyes he was truly having fun. He then switched up to the Nürburgring. Now, I love almost all the racing tracks out there. There's a couple that I'm not a big fan of. But Nürburgring, it feels like I was born to race it. The first time I played Nürburgring, I actually did it on Gran Turismo, and it was those licenses. And I got gold for all 3 sectors on my first try, never knowing the map. It's like I knew it. So anyway, watch this video of him driving around in Nordschleife, and these two things clicked. Like there's this massive spark that flew up my backside basically, and I was like, I need to get Raceroom, and I need to get Nürburgring, and I need to go and race around on it. And so that ship sailed. You know, the car drove out of the garage. I went and purchased the game. Well, actually, the game is free, but some of the content you've got to pay for. So I downloaded the game, purchased the car, purchased the track for around a total of 20 New Zealand dollars, which isn't too bad. Yeah, fired it up. Now, I've got to tell you, man, it is. Let's just see here if I switch that up correctly. So, I've set up many games on my stream so far, and I must admit that Raceroom has been the easiest. The steering wheel setup, everything about it just clicked. It just worked. Okay. No problems with setting up anything. The graphics work. Now, it is a much older game. All right. It's definitely not something new, and I definitely want to check the sales charts for them, because I suspect, you know, maybe just on the back of what Jimmy and some other people did on, you know, Reddit and other streamers, there's probably going to be a bit of a resurgence to Raceroom, but it's definitely not a new game. But I think what I can see from at least my initial, you know, watching this, is that there's a lot of effort in making it as good and as real as possible. I've driven it just to test, you know, get some, you know, content videos, stuff like that. And I must say, it just works extremely well. But the tracks, you know, at least the Nordschleife is laser scanned. I just want to have a look here. Yeah, let's go into... Yeah, no, okay, I was going to go into the store, but it might show information that I don't want to. So let's just go into practice here, and I'll just show you the variety that this game has. I mean, of course, there's some, you know, fictitious or fake, you know, classes as well. But, you know, German touring cars, I'm definitely going to be giving DTM a go at some point, because that was also just like the golden era of touring class racing. The M1 Cup, you know, Praga, you know, Jimmy Broadbent actually raced a Praga R1 for a while as well. They are just little aerodynamic track weapons. But I mean, it goes across. There's so many other classes that are in here, and so extremely good content from that perspective. But of course, let's go in and just have a quick look at our Super Touring. Yeesh, how's this for a powerful song? Porsche Cup, of course, you know, got to get into that. But here we go. Have a look at these cars. Now, if you are a fan of this form of racing, then just seeing these liveries will immediately, firstly, get you excited, but also take you back. I mean, obviously, the Volvo, the Renault, you know, these are liveries we grew up with. The Audi, the Alfa. You know, there were other cars that also took part in later touring car championships. For instance, the box Volvo. You know, there's a station wagon version of this, which is frickin' legendary. All right, seriously legendary. You know, I maybe it's somewhere else in the game, but definitely a Raceroom. If you're listening to this, firstly, welcome. That's frickin' awesome. And secondly, definitely bring the big box, the chungus boxes, as certain Mr. Broadbent might even have said at some point. And so yeah, fantastic. But I mean, again, it doesn't stop there, so let's go and have a look. Let's go into DTM. This is what I mean by sort of modern, you know, touring car championship stuff. You see, aerodynamics have just gone absolutely crazy. What else are we looking for? Well, that Porsche Cup looked really good. Let's see here. So yes, we're definitely going to be racing that. Let's see. That'll be in the Nürburgring for sure. I'm a massive Pagani fan. And so, yeah, Pagani's on the R is huge. Oh, what? Okay, we are doing a stream on truck racing. Imagine like 20 people online piling together into the first corner at the Nürburgring with trucks. That'll be cool. What's the GTR cover? Ooh, all right, that's some cool stuff over there. Yeah, so anyway, as you can see, there's a good amount of content. Are there games/sims out there that has more? Probably. But considering that so much of this you can get going with for free, that, in my opinion, is an absolute win. So definitely check them out. Now, before we get going, and you know, I'm sure you're chomping at the bit, like, come on, let's get going. I just wanted to cover the car that we're gonna be racing with today. So I put a little image together. Let's just go here. We'll transition into that. So as you can see here, we're racing the 1996 BMW. Yeah, this is stupid here. Obviously, the 320 Super Touring. So let's see, did they actually give you details of it in the game? Okay, so we're racing the David Brabham car, but there are different skins available. And I did do some research here and try to find the original cars racing as a video. Here's a legendary name as well, Sean van der Linde. You know, back in the day, there was also touring cars in South Africa, and it was just as epic. But as you can see, it was quite a, there's the legendary, you know, Sabine Schmidt, you know, the absolute amazing. We'll be going through her corner, basically. We start the Nordschleife. I've got a little bit emotional there, actually. Oh, hang on a minute. So I have to definitely be able to show you what I'm doing. That will help. There we go. And so the BMW in question that we were talking about here is this one from David Brabham. But you can see here, here's the other cars that I was mentioning. But the other skins, like here's the Sean van der Linde one. You know, if you're from Aussie, there's obviously quite a few guys that took part back in the day. There's the Sabine Schmidt car. And so obviously you can purchase specific skins. So I just purchased the one because that's all we need. But there's quite a few. There's the Jägermeister car, definitely remember that one. And there's the Fina car as well, so Team Orica. Here's my teammate, technically, Johnny's Cotto, which I did a little bit checking on. And yeah, old Johnny, he's actually a motorbike champion that moved over into formal racing. So I guess very much like a Valentino Rossi, but obviously Valentino is the freaking goat, right? Okay, so what did I also want to do? So I also just wanted to quickly go into my browser and just show you guys something. So we'll just quickly transition into here. So, you know, I'm not the most hardcore historian kind of a guy. I did do a little bit of research before, but most importantly, I was trying to find the original version of the car, roughly, that we're racing today, and some information about it. Now, I couldn't find the exact one here, but as you can see that roughly around 1995, 1996 is where these cars started sort of racing in the E36 variant. Of course, touring cars started before that with the boxer BMW, which is legendary as well. But another one, and I'm gonna try and do this. Let's see. You won't be able to see what I'm seeing, of course, and that's just because I don't want you to see all of my bookmarks. Okay. Alright, now you won't be able to hear this. Okay, there we go. So I managed to find this video. So this is British Touring Car Championships 1996. By the way, this is from the channel the 90s and the noughties archives. Definitely go check them out. Some really cool stuff in there. So there's our Fina BMW with Wilk. Yeah, some of the names here were amazing. And this will take you back. There's some of these names that are, you know, just, we remember them. There's the Volvos. So cool just seeing these things. The Ford Mondeos. There was so many cars, and you can see, like, they're obviously not stuck from the road, but, you know, damn near close to it. Yeah. Check out that. Just rubbing is racing. If that is a freaking thing, then holy crap, have a look at this. you know, close racing. Woo! Yeah, good old Rydell. Oh, and showing middle fingers and stuff like that was definitely a very, very common thing. Okay, cool. I will like that video. All right, that was fun. But yeah, there's a lot of rich history in this form of motorsport. Okay, so I think we've covered a good amount of stuff about what we're going to do today. So what I'd like to start off with is I'm just going to take the car out. We're going to drive it around the track, get a bit used to it, and then, you know, we'll go and find a online race. Now, important, I have not in any way played online in this game yet. Not in any way. I haven't even clicked into the multiplayer segment. And so that is something that is, of course, going to be interesting. I'm sure that there's some official rankings and stuff like that you have to follow. And so we'll just go through it. But again, we're just going to get going. There we go, and I'm just double checking that my stream is online. You know, one of the things I found is that sometimes I did a stream the other day, and I think it was about a half an hour into realized that OBS had forgotten what my microphone settings are, which never happens. And yeah, I did a stream basically for half an hour, which didn't work. Let's drop in a message here. Looking good. Always good to just test these things are working, right? Cool. Let's just see here. Yep, that's all working. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're racing this BMW. Now, by the way, there are many other ones, but I grew up in a family that was, you know, quite, I wouldn't say we only supported BMW, but that was definitely, you know, the ones that we liked the most. So my first car was a BMW, and, you know, don't think that I'm some rich kid or something like that. It was literally my grandfather's car passed away that was given to me. It was a beautiful white BMW 525 automatic. Great car, not a good car for a student because it sucked fuel. And so I traded it in. But my mom also had a beautiful 318 box-shaped BMW, you know, just... obviously, I'll admit live internationally that I might have taken that car to its limit a lot. Without maybe certain people knowing the certain activities that we performed with that car, obviously all in an extremely safe environment. But yeah, so that was a big thing. You know, my dad had a stunning BMW 330 diesel, and yeah, we just grew up loving 333s, M3s and everything, so I'm a little bit biased towards BMW. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna get in there, we're gonna go for a race, for a little practice session. And then once we've got that out of the way, we'll jump into online. Now, if you're watching this, you know, tell me what you think so far. Obviously, you know, the channel's all about taking things to the next level. And one of the things I'm definitely trying to do is add good technology into it. I actually have face tracking, but I thought let's not worry about that for today. We'll definitely do a stream on how I feel about face tracking. I love racing in VR. Love racing in VR. There's no substitute for how much better it can make you. I'm sorry, especially looking at the apex and stuff like that. So I want to see if head tracking helps with that without causing you to be inaccurate in other areas, because technically your head's moving and your eyes are trying to stay focused on something that's not. So it's anyway, we'll give it a go. But yeah, drop a comment, tell me if you like this, hit the like button. If you want to see more of this, hit the subscribe button for sure. But yeah, we're trying it out. We've got a green screen now. This is going to be fun because the sun is setting in New Zealand at the moment, so the consistent change in lighting, you know, right now I look pasty as I'm not normally this color, but it's because of the massive amounts of lights that I'm getting, you know, from here and behind me. Anyway, technical stuff, who gives a poop? All right, let's get into it. Ooh-wee. Yeah, and so as I mentioned before, I did fire up this in the last couple of days, mostly just to get a bit of content going, but also just to test and make sure everything works, including my steering wheel and so forth. Okay. Oh, to get that without, yeah, that looks pretty safe. There we go. Ah, yeah. There we go. That's good. we'll figure out a better place for the microphone later. Cool. So in we are, and immediately we can see it's actually quite cool. There's a lot of familiar names in there, like Jason Plato. I'm a big fan of him. You know, he also at some point was a presenter, I believe, on Fifth Gear, but some of the old classics here. Now we'll get into setups and everything in a minute, but I think you guys have been waiting long enough. Let's get into it. And yes, we are running a foot cam now. Turn the volume down just a little bit. Love the brake squeal. Okay, so I bumped the mic there, so... Okay, so again, I'm just trying out different ways to place the microphone, so most importantly, it's not in my way. One would think that I would test this before. Yeah, that looks a little bit better, even though the... See, but then that's in the way. Hold fire, team. I'm going to try something. And we're back. So I'm definitely going to invest into having a better headset microphone. This one does have a microphone, but it is rubbish. And so, yeah, we'll definitely do that. But I think we're in a sweet spot now. All right, cool. Whoa, elbows out. Okay, so... All right. This is a Honda in front of us. And by the way, the graphics are definitely not turned up to its max. Shortcut. How's she ride the bumps? Yeah, not too bad. It's okay, we're still figuring out where we need to brake. Such predictable handling as well. Alright, and we're on to the Nürburgring. Alright. So immediately we'll stop there. Okay, so why did I stop there, you ask? So the Nürburgring is very, very much a bumpy track. Okay, and so what that does mean, sorry, I just want to make a small adjustment here. There we go, so I can hear myself a little bit better. Which is quite important when you're talking. So Nürburgring is very bumpy. And so what I've done is I've gone and created a particular setup. And so in short, and you know, we can definitely go into a little bit of detail later, But in many cases, what I've done is I have decreased, let's say, decreased the stiffness of the vehicle. And so what it means is that, you know, there's a lot of curbs, a lot of bumps on the Nürburgring, and the road surface is not always even. And so you want a car that's got really good traction, and that pushes the tire onto the road more often. Obviously, when a track is, you know, glass flat, then it's very easy to have a very stiff car, and, you know, you don't even have to worry about anti-roll bars, and stuff like that. But as you can see here, so basically what it's showing here is that I have changed the spring rate from its original. I've moved it down. The ride height, for instance, I've just put over a little bit further. I haven't touched the camber, I believe, but like I've changed my compression and rebound settings. And so basically I've decreased my compression or bump. And so basically it means that as I hit the bump, the vehicle should, the wheel should be able to move up much quicker. And obviously then when it rebounds, it should push it down quicker as well. And so some of these settings I've just adjusted to do it. We'll do a bit of a deep dive on all the things that I've done, but you know what, as said, let's just get racing. So I just wanted to make sure that I'm running that. Okay, excellent. All right. All right, let's just have some fun for a bit, shall we? She drifts at low speed, that's for sure. Now, some of you, if you watch this, you'll be like, hang on a minute, this doesn't look very fast. Remember, this is a BMW 320. 320, okay? So back in the day, 2-liter engine. Very little aerodynamics. Whoop, whoop. I believe they were on slicks. They were slightly stripped out. And there was some sneakiness, like I believe the BMW had a very unique sort of an ABS setting as well. But because of it not being that fast, hey, the racing was closer, he says as he goes off the track. Lol. There we go. So what was it, the 100 board? Maybe after the 100 board? Max Verstappen line. Now, yeah, welcome to the Nürburgring. If you don't know this track, it's massive. One of my dreams to race, or at least drive here. I was going to. I actually had things booked, and then COVID happened. See, she's still a bit naughty over curbs. I'm definitely gonna have to dial that out at some point. And that's the curb that I hit on the way to making that cool image. Obviously I didn't slow down as much, so I was just over 200 when I clipped it. It did not end well. It's such good handling. Nice. I've never driven past this point in this car, in this sim, and so everything from this point onwards is going to be learning. Yeah. Yeah, right. I was in my head thinking about the curve that they in real life had changed there. And if I could hit that curve, if they fixed that in the sim. And of course, then I wasn't focusing on when I was driving. I believe this is referred to as the Rebel Tree. So hello, Rebel Tree. Not hitting apexes. That's okay, we're learning. We're taking things to the next level. Now imagine doing this with other race cars around you at night. We're totally doing that. Small lift through here. Don't want to hit that curb. Don't want to unsettle. It just beeped at me. I wonder if that was the ABS. Yeah, a little bit of cadence braking method there, I think. Woo-wee! Now that pedal cam is bright. Yeah, sun is shining. Right now, people are at the beach, yo, and I'm here freaking racing. I wouldn't be anywhere else right now. Except for maybe doing this for real, of course. While drinking a beer. By the way, I did watch some videos on this car driving. And I must say the audio that they've got in Raceroom is really, really good. Like, really good. Now, this is another skill to learn. Is, of course, talking and driving at the same time. By the way, I'm just going to pause here for a second. There we go. My Spotify was playing the whole time, which is fine. I was like, why is this music coming from in the background? Plus, I have now turned up the volume of the car. I hope it's not so loud that you can't hear me, but at the same time, if you can't hear me, but you can hear this fantastic car, that's a win as well. Anyway, and up the hill. Again, BMW 320, if the engine is similar to what they had in the road car, it was a 2-liter. Back in those days, the numbers on the car reflected something, not just some random, you know, like a Porsche Turbo that's an electric car that doesn't actually have a turbo. Yeah, kind of missed the apex there. Alright, here we go into the carousel. First time, let's see how she handles. Definitely braked early for that one, just to see how much angle we need. Okay, all the way into the hip. Yeah, we'll do that faster next time, not even. That's a very tricky corner carousel. This also, if you just get this one slightly wrong, you can be spat off the track very easily. And that was flat. Ooh, you see how, as I got on the curb, it just dragged me away from that corner. And kudos to the quality of the skidding noise and the fact that you can make it louder. My favorite segment. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, yeah, I can see that coming. Okay, I've got to remember this car doesn't have aerodynamics massively, so in that section there, you've got to stick to your apexes and carry momentum better. Anyway, first time, it's alright. U2 corner. I might adjust the gearing because in this segment you definitely want to just be able to stick in one gear instead of in between two. We'll make that adjustments later. That was realistic. The fact that it blocked up in the air. got a bit squirrely there. Flat? Yeah, I can do it flat. Nice. Man, that's fast. Even at this low speed, that's fast. Whoa! I wanted to brake more, and then I thought, we got it. Okay, there we go. Eine kleine Karussell. And nice long straight. So again, let's check your gearing as well, because you don't want to run out of gearing. And if you do get a tow here, I think you'll be able to hit the rev limiter, but it might be a little bit more than we need. Probably not a good 10 k's an hour for that. Okay, where do we lift? 253. That curb. Cool. So I don't know how this works. See, I've confirmed pit stop actions. Okay. Why is that such a tricky corner there? Definitely one day I want to invest a bit of time into learning each of his corners. Yeah, I can see that coming a mile away. If I could see it's coming a mile away, I wouldn't have done that, would I? So you can hear that inside front locking up there. That was really nice. Okay, so we'll try here with a flat out. Okay, if you hit the curb, it does drag it around. That's good. And that sun is making my foot glow in the dark. Okay, so she got a bit of understeer. And I think I need to dial that out because I like a car that has a little bit of rotation on exit. Yeah, Tokyo Drift, baby. She can steer her on throttle, so maybe I just need to dial out the understeer a little bit. But she'd be flying. Yeah, I was very gutsy there. We're just testing the limits. And no, I'm not Max Verstappen, so I don't test the limits while not actually hitting them or going over them. I am human. Max not human. And in the comments below, tell me if you like the setup, like where I am in relation to the steering wheel. Okay, so light lift, let's see if that works. I think you'd be crapping yourself if you did that in real life. But yeah, I figured you don't need to see the middle of the steering wheel, and so I put myself there. But yeah, love to hear from you. Okay, and so what we're gonna do is just slide brake and see if that's enough. Yeah, you can do that flat almost. Oh, this car is so damn nice to drive, man. Damn. Down the foxhole we go! Oh. That was fun. That was over the limit. Now I've got a fairly let me just quickly, I've got a fairly like not fairly, it's definitely entry level wheel stand, and so when I do hardcore movements, unfortunately she be a moving, and so there I tried not to flip the car and I flipped my steering wheel setup. Inside touching the ground. See, that lifting every time I hit the curve, that's not good. I need to dial that out. Brightness. So much earlier for that turn. You see, this lap is much scruffier because now I'm like trying to find the limit. That's okay. I think what I'm seeing here is I'm overestimating the power of the brakes, especially at higher speeds, and I guess that's because of aerodynamics not being such a big thing. The last game I played was Formula 1. Man, I would love to see how steep this hill is in real life. Come on, you can do it, girl. Come on. Okay. When we go into my favorite section, I'm going to try and identify the ideal gearing setup. You see, now that I'm not too sure about. So earlier I spun out. So you would have seen me a few times corrected, and it does feel that there's this initial point of correction that you can make. But it seems like once you pass that point, it really becomes quite excessive. You really then need to try and rotate it. And so I guess maybe that's just me needing to learn a little bit in this game, because at that point, I felt like I was perfectly controlling the angle that I needed and the throttle that I needed. And it just feels like you get to a point and then it's uncatchable. Now, that can probably be dialed out in settings, and you know, that's probably realistic. So maybe I just need to man up. Yeah, the gearing definitely needs to be shortened. How fast can I go? I'm probably going to fall off. Yeah, okay, that was on purpose, so I was just testing. So it's mid-throttle in second gear. And so for those who are not like hardcore racing enthusiasts, that's another important thing. Is you got to try and remember each corner, what you did before, and on the Nürburgring, that is the biggest challenge. Okay, so here we go. So I'd love to be able to stick in third gear or fourth gear. You see, fourth is... Actually, fourth's pretty good. Ooh, nice bump there. Yeah, okay, so fourth, definitely just a... I think I can just make my entire gearbox ratio just a little bit shorter, and by that I believe you have to increase the ratio, but anyway. Oh, still getting dragged by those curves. Sometimes a good thing, sometimes bad. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna brake after the landing. Yep, that's good. The segment should be flat out. Ooh. Nice. Whoa! See, that one I could do in third if I had a slightly shorter gearbox. Let's see if I can do this flat out. No, you can't. Okay. Oh, flipping out. I tried to Tokyo Drift that one. Okay, fine. So let's go do some setup changes. Okay, our setup. So first and foremost, driveline. So, be nice if they just had a final adjustment. Engine braking. Rev limit. Just. Okay, so what did we say? We said that we wanted a shorter fourth gear and a shorter fifth gear. Ah, there we go. So if we just... Ooh! Your screen is black. Don't know if it's me or not. Oh, no! Oh, no. So, hey, thanks, HC ETH NZ. I've been having weird problems happen with Twitch of late. I use a system called Raceroom.io. And so, annoyingly, it just seems like sometimes it just freaks out. And the thing is, I can see that it's working perfectly fine, and it should be working on YouTube, because I can test it there. But yeah, I'm really sorry about this HC ETH. Frustrating. And also, unfortunately, I don't know how to fix it. Yeah. It's frustrating, isn't it? Well, at least you can listen to the smooth sounds of that BMW in my voice. No, kidding. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that, but I don't know how to fix it without without exiting the stream. The thing is, I can probably turn it off and back on again, but then you might lose connection. So, yeah, damn it, it's happened twice now, and... Okay, I'll look into it. But look, if you might just need to restart stream, or potentially look into using OBS, which is pretty... I use OBS. This is OBS, but what I'm doing is I'm using OBS and streaming via Restream to multiple platforms at the same time. So I'm currently doing Kick, Rumble, Twitch, and YouTube at the same time. But yeah, maybe I need to invest a bit of time into looking at that. Okay, I'm going to do two things here, Mr. HC. I'm going to turn it off and back on again, but then it might actually create a new stream. I'm not 100% sure. If not, maybe head over to my YouTube channel. Link is in the description, I believe. And maybe just watch it there. Obviously not ideal, but yeah, this is the second time it's happening, and that's quite frustrating. So okay, so I'm going to turn it off, so you might lose me, not sure, but let's see. Okay, so I've turned it off and back on again. How's it looking now? Yeah, it's such a pity, man, when this sort of stuff happens. And so I can immediately see there's 0 viewers there on Twitch. Let's see. Twitch. The video download was cancelled. What? Get this air on Twitch. Cool. Cool, so there's 2 people watching. Here's a full fix. Download was cancelled. Error happenings. Your connection hiccups. Your browser extension blocks Twitch. Interesting. The hardware acceleration bugs out. Twitch CDN mode serving you is unstable. You're watching through Restream redirect links. Ah. The stream tries to change quality mid-playback. Quick fixes of hardware acceleration. Alright. These are complex things that I'm going to need to fix. Damn it. Ah, it's so frustrating. So, it's disappeared. All part of the fun. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Maybe it's Restream. I'm. Yeah, it's still black. I'll follow you and tune in next time. Okay. Yeah, that's very annoying because I had this happen before, but it sort of kind of fixed itself. And so, unfortunately, I guess in this case, it is something that's rooted in deeper evil. All right. Ooh. Okay. Where were we? Do, 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 do. Oh yes, so what we were doing is we were changing the final gear. So you can see here the final bit of gearing between the transmission and driven wheels, which usually consists of crown wheel pinion. Higher final drive ratio will supply more torque to the rear wheels but will limit top speed. A lower final drive ratio will allow for a higher top speed. So you see it's already at its max. And so you'll see if I do this, it's knocking things back a little. So you see 100 kilometers per hour. So we just knock that back 3 of them. I think that would have set us up exactly in the sweet spot. Yeah. And then also car setup. Let's have a look. Front suspension. Let's drop our tire pressures down. Just a little bit. And then, okay, so ride height. Basically, we've increased it to 110. I think let's go up another 5 clicks. It's a little bit higher. We'll make a little less stable. And the rear ride height, we're gonna just do 3 clicks up. Then front. Amber will. It's a slow bump. So again, increasing this value will increase the responsiveness of the car, but too much or too little reduce mechanical grip and will result in the car which is unpredictable. It's advised to increase both bump and rebound when spring rates are increased. Yeah, so we've decreased the spring rates. So I think I'm going to leave that as is. Maybe that height adjustment is all we needed, just to give the wheels just a little bit more travel to absorb the bump. We'll see. Let's go setup and let's just save the current setup. Okay, now let's get a time on the board. Ooh, wheel was somewhere it shouldn't have. Okay. I'm very frustrated about that Twitch problem. Wow, that was really interesting. That I felt I definitely got the corner right. Anyway, here we go. Flat through here. Curves are still dragging, but a little bit easier. Still a bit understeering. Lol. Did you see that, Jimmy? That's hilarious. But that final gear change that we just did made such a massive difference. Even though it really shouldn't have. To be honest, I'm being a little bit lazy. Instead of individually adjusting those gears to suit, I'm taking the shortcut. We really need to get that corner down. Low end, fast out. No. That's terrible. Fine, sorry team. We... ooh. Looks pretty. See, it's almost like the whole gearbox has gone wrong. Which is really strange. Goes about... So, see... That's what it's supposed to be. Okay. Good. What keeps moves stuff? Guess it might just be certain. So you see, the purples were what has been saved. So, what did we say? We wanted a shorter fourth key. Okay. Try that. Unborked my setting. Yeah, here we go. Gotta work out that understeer, that's no good. Steering seems a little bit better. So I've still got this problem where it could be the brake balance actually, now that I think about it. That's a bit of a shortcut. No, man, come on. Woo! She be a spiking. So we're gonna try just a light lift. Yeah, that's good enough. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the limit is a big brake. Stay in that gear. You can drift it. Nice. Definitely, definitely feeling a little bit more comfortable with it. But she's definitely still not ideally set up for this. Alright, so we're coming up to that section where that fourth gear is going to be. Let's see here, fifth. Yeah, fifth is fine. And this is a tricky corner, but should be flat, and barely is. And then see, he likes that. Okay, so goal here is set a lap time. Here we go. See, the nice thing is I can keep it in fourth, which makes the I'm right in the power band through my favorite section. Not down there. There's definitely a third. Understeer again. Come on. There we go. And brake off to the jump. Again, that shorter fourth gear. Open us up. Shortcut, cut. Ooh, that must have been millimeters from the grass and me having a colossal accident. Okay, but yeah, that's looking much better. And as we found out, just a little lift. Sort out that understeer, and we're away laughing. Yeah, that's how much time you have on the strike. I actually just quickly checked if my stream's at least working on YouTube, and it is. There we go. I think we got the gearing right. Okay, so let's try and set a lap time. I'm not going to go flat out, because now we've sort of discovered the limits. Just to finish up this segment. Where do we brake? That's a very good question. I have no idea. I think that was alright. I guess 150. Do you have a clutch? Yes, I do. And I will be getting an H button because I love it. Oh, what? What? Oh my god, I saw this on Jimmy Broadbent's stream as well. That is village. I mean, two wheels were on the track. Are you kidding me? Ah, your mother won't count. Ish. Okay, well, let's concentrate anyway. Yeah, that, you see, that should not count. I'm disgusted with that. Utterly mortified. All right. You. Nice. Just a JWW corner. Okay, that was a good section. I'm happy with that. Except for that criminal, this lap will not count. Okay, so here we go. Last time, all we did was a light lift. So over here. Oh, just keep your foot pinned and believe it will work. Yeah, that was a bit risky. Okay, this one, remember last time, we just want to light brake. Just get the nose tucked in and then hard on the brakes. Nice. Okay. We're getting there. Just a couple of laps and we're getting in the groove. Vauxhall. Oh, come on. Now, interesting, that is actually a very popular corner for people to crash on YouTube. I'm going wrong way. And so that's because the car gets light. And so I'm a victim of that too then. See there? That's brake balance right there. Okay, so we're gonna try and do this mid-race. Changing the brake bias. So down is backwards, okay. Two things at the same time, man. Like thinking about your mic position? Come on. But how are you doing, Vibev? Thanks for joining my stream. Important question. Do you like BMW? I mean, I guess you definitely like Toyotas. Maybe a Celica? Better. Not faster, but better. That'll look good in the replay room. There we go. Okay, into our lovely fourth gear. Understeer, ride the inside curb. That's better. Shopping! Or as this game calls it, corner cutting. Sheesh. Yeah, but I'm really impressed with Raceroom. Like, I'm really enjoying this. The graphics are fine. It feels good. And it's free. I don't know if it's on console, but if you got a PC and you don't have Raceroom, check it out. Love the sound of straight cut. Yeah, man. And like I said, I actually watched a couple of videos of this car racing in real life. And this is pretty much bang on. You know, that typical BMW, you know, just... It's more induction than exhaust. It's really good. Did look at some 135i coupes. Yeah, man. A 135i. Stunning car. Very practical, but that engine is a beast, right? Turbocharged. If you take that puppy... I'm really just focus here for a second and try not to die. If you just spend a little bit of time upgrading the engine management on that. Okay. Ooh, right. Return to garage. Okay. Is it the E46? It is, my friend. It is, yes. Okay. Quit. Ooh-wee. So that was fun. I'm happy with the car setup. I think, you know, we could definitely spend some time tweaking it a little bit more, but we only got a half an hour left. So why don't we get into a quick race, see how it goes, and take it from there. Just for your knowledge here, VOF, so it's the E36, sorry, not the E46, the E36 Super Touring, yeah. That is it over here. This one there. Of course, there are other cars that are available as well, but I am a BMW fan, and so have gone that. Okay, let's not waste time. Like I said, we've got a half an hour left. We've got a goal. The goal is to try and play online. So we'll go back. Multiplayer. Here we go. So this is me, Mr. Next Level JJ, and that is my face. So let's see. Daily races. Jump in anytime for a quick competitive race. That sounds like that's what we're keen for here. Okay, and we are going to need to find a filter. Surely we have to do a track. Yeah, and also by type as well. Let's see here. Store. Oh, and they have official event start times? Of course they do. Okay. Stupid. Or maybe there is a function and I just don't know. But by the way, so what? That. Waar is das Nordschleife? Ah. NLS. Yeah. There's nobody. All right, so, you know, these are the type of things that happen when you just sort of jump in. You very quickly figure out that, yeah, there's Super Touring, which is what we're in, but the Hockenheimring, I don't know that for at all. So let's see if there's a Nürburgring Super Touring. Well, looks like we're gonna have to create one ourselves at some time. GTG, getting ready for side kicking tonight. Best of luck with the race. Ah, thanks, bro. Thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate it. Specials. Okay, so what do we see here, team? One, if we're going to do a proper race, super touring, one, we might have to create our own track setup and have a fixed time to do it. I don't know why. In my head, you know, typical Gran Turismo guy, you just go online, there's a button, you click it, and then it's like, boom, within 10 seconds you're into a race. Whereas maybe, of course, Raceroom not being the newest game, maybe it's a little bit less. But okay, so what can we do? We can definitely sign up. So, ooh, what's this? Sign up. Okay, so interesting. Of course. So cool. You can sign up for a particular race. Duh. Community service, you never know. Ah, beautiful BBS. Let's see here. Ability transmission. Okay, there we go. See if there's anything super touring. Nordschleife is super touring. Race time 10 minutes. Qualifying on RRVGT. Super touring and DTM. Okay, so we might see if that. Obviously 0 players. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, there's 5 people in this one, but it's not my class. Let's see. Doesn't show all the text, so it might actually have Super GT. Let's see. Yeah, Super Touring. Go race. Screw it. We'll give it a go. Super Touring, BMW. Okay. Something's happening. Whoa! I don't care. If we can do Nordschleife with a Super Touring, if there's other people on the track, that'd be great. But yeah, as I was saying before, it's clear that we need to be a bit more structured about this. We need to find a specific event, enter it, and really sort of then do the proper practice sessions, qualifying, all of that. This was just fire it up, get in, try and get an online race going. And so, I don't know, maybe this server is in Germany and we're going to have horrendous ping. Who knows? But we'll see. By the way, again, shout out Stream Beats by Harris Heller. Some of these tunes are really cool. I might, use this again in future streams. All right, press any key to continue. Okay, so do we have anybody in Super Touring? No, just me. That's okay. Drive. Qualifying. Top 3 kids today. Pending. Love the time of day. 25 fuel. Check. Here we go. Oh, it's the other version. Is this the one with shortcut? I don't know. Yeah. See, like that. It's just like I trust myself to catch a wider slide, and that's not the case. The moment she goes past a certain point, you basically got to apply the brakes and really counter steer. All right. Sheesh. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. Ah, there we go. There's my face. All right. Beautiful time of day. They've set up this track perfectly. Incidents. Oh. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we learn. If you make mistakes, they count maybe towards incidents. All right, and we're going. How beautiful is that? I'm impressed. Raceroom is good. You see, there's even a bit of bloom. That, like, fogginess, that's on purpose. Why did I upshift there? I like the server. They picked a good time. Whoa! Makes it tricky though, like it would be in real life. Okay, that's a little bit better than last time. I feel I can go through there a lot faster. How to rearrange your engine. That was so slow, oh my goodness. Ah, Rapunzel left. Come back, Rapunzel. It's actually quite nice. It was good to see the flag. You know, learn the ways the Raceroom handles that. So obviously, faster car coming from behind. Obviously, you're going to put up a blue flag, and then immediately ignore it, like all good Formula One drivers do. So shift down. Oof. Everybody seems to be leaving, so maybe there's something wrong with it. Feeling better through that section. Not perfect by a long shot, but better. Got confused with where I was on the track there. See, incidents 9. So I guess you get disqualified or a time penalty, maybe? Another person left. Oh, wow. Ooh, another incident. I did that on purpose. So that was fun. It's still a half an hour of qualifying. And so we will escape with the idea of just having a quick race. But we'll definitely do this better in the future. And I'm going to set up a super touring 4-point, race there, and we'll just do laps, and maybe we'll have a couple of people join. Okay, so single event. Large Dewey. Interesting. Ah, so it's actually going to the wrong one. So sorry, team. That's not the way it's supposed to look. Anyway. Okay, so what do we got? We are going super touring, my baby, and track. There can be only one. Which layout, though? Short version. I'm going to take the short version just because some people were practicing that. And so it's good to just get into that a little bit. Adaptive AI, number of opponents. How many can I have? Oh, well, let's not crash my computer. Let's go for 20 opponents. That's fine. Time multiplier, damage off, tire wear off, fuel use off, practice 5 minutes. Practice off. Going straight in. Rules custom qualifying, single session. Qualifying minutes off. Race length type minutes. Laps. Race 1. Let's do 2 laps. Race grid. Start mode. Standing start. Cut track penalties. Drive through. Whoa. Let's just turn that off for now. Okay. Exciting. I'm gonna again say I've played a fair amount of racing sims in my time, and Raceroom's not perfect, but for what you're getting for the price, I'm very impressed. Now, in Jimmy Broadbent stream, he did mention that hang on. There we go. He did mention that he had real problems with the game connecting, and servers not necessarily working well and so forth. And so I think that's probably something of a game that's maybe this old, but maybe now with people like Jimmy Broadbent and myself getting into this, maybe there'll be a resurgence in Raceroom. So I'll definitely be watching that. But of course, ice racing is something I definitely want to do. iRacing is very cool as well, and that's probably something we'll invest when we do a 24 hours of Nürburgring. But anyway, first and foremost, there's my feet. We're going to go, where do we start? In 6th place, that's all right. I've never done the standing start in this game. So, foot on the clutch. Let's see if it works that way. I would say that's good. Okay, extra safe there. We don't want to get any penalty points, do we? And then where's the shortcut? I don't know where to brake for it. 200. I just used the bridge. Ooh, danger. All right, we're away laughing. I've got a massive lead, but I can very easily crash and munch that up, so... Let's not count our chickens yet. I'd love to use the max line, but... There! That's so hardcore. This game is a bit uptight. Yeah, it was a bit crazy. You heard me pull that corner, the JWW corner. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google Mr. JWW and crash. Legendary YouTuber. Love the guy to bits. Wants to do a sub 7 lap time. Doesn't ride the curb. Crashes is brand new 911 GT3 RS. Broke my heart. I wish I could throw billions of dollars at him and just go, dude, just keep racing, keep crashing until you get that sub 7. That'll give us all hope. Yeah, I guess adaptive AI is not that adaptive. Or maybe I'm that good, who knows? That wasn't as nice as I'd like to be, but I must say that did work well. We're learning. Definitely getting to know this car better. Okay, uphill struggle, but we're about 17 seconds clear of Mr. Rydell. And some of you watching the pedal cam is probably going, why do you keep moving your left foot down? In the position that I'm sitting in, it's not comfortable having my heel down like you would in a race car. So eventually when we have a proper racing wheel setup and I'm lying down a little bit more, then I wouldn't have to lift my foot off the pedal like I am now. Danger, danger. Stranger danger! Yeah, that was great. Whoa! Ah, I felt that. Oh, I felt that. Then why did you spin off, mate? Oh, oh, oh. Still trying to figure out the best line to that corner with this car. Guess we're not getting a clean race bonus. Ooh, risky. Not sure what I geared there. Ooh. All right. We're cruising. 33 seconds ahead. Not what I was hoping for. Definitely hoping for a bit of a closer race. I thought because I selected adaptive AI that it would adjust as I am good, but clearly not, and so we might just have to set it to its hardest setting. Next time, tune in for more. How to rearrange the valve train on your BMW engine. Alright, so that's it. I would say that was a fairly good first lap. Not perfect, still learning. This car, this track, this sim, but it's alright. That's 200, there's 150. That was good. Come on, turn, baby. Such a technical corner, this. It feels good in the BMW. He says... Alright. Oh yeah, the bridge. That corner when I went off, I was saying, it feels so good, and then my brain was like, hang on, but this car has a habit of understeering. And then, guess what? That was a bit ballsy, that. Nice. Ooh, a little bit of poo came out. That's pretty good. Not as smooth as I wanted, but yeah, it was alright. There was a split second there I went into flow state. One day, my friends, we'll get there. Alright. There we go. I do think you can take that without lifting, but in this car, the way it tends to understeer when you put weight on the front, well, maybe. When you take weight off the front, sorry. That's what I meant. There we go, down the foxhole. See that little bump? That you almost don't see it. It's like the road just crests. And that's what causes so many people, even when the open days with their own cars, to spin there, because it just all flows the weight of the suspension and around you go. As I did as well. Nice. Ish. Hey, that was really good at the game. You can hear the moment your car locks up. That's really good. That porta potty might be a good marker for that corner. Now, for those who might just be joining and going, hang on, you're 54 seconds ahead. How bad are these bots? Really very bad. I did set it to adaptive AI, which I thought meant, well, they'll get better. as I progress, but nope. They be asleeping. That's okay. Not the perfect, but the best I've done so far. Better average speed through there. Nice. Ooh, still doesn't like those curves. I love that section. It's just so fast. I want to check that out on the replay for sure. Whew. Raindrops keep falling on my head. That doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. That's just not for me. Oh shit, I need to pee. Oh, break! Rearrange engine. Ooh. Whew. Nice. And that's it. Just like that. Boom. Okay. What I did want to quickly do was replay the last one. Like this. Makes sense. Let's see. I'd like to capture that moment as I come out of the mini carousel. I just did something quite crazy there. Let's see. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Definitely a couple of things we learned from this. Of course, you know, one, fix that freaking Twitch issue. That's so annoying. The second thing is, if I'm going to do an actual good online race, that I need to find one and sign up for it and then build my entire stream around that time. Alternatively, I could just create my own, and I guess that's where we're definitely going to want to create a bit of a community here. And so definitely in the description, check out my Discord, sign up, say hello, say, oh, I love the your stream on Raceroom. I've got it, and I've got a super tour. Unfortunately, you have to buy the track and the car to do what we just did. But there are some free tracks, so maybe we can make it a bit easier and people just have to buy the car. Yeah, but another thing we just learned here is that Raceroom is a lot of fun. I am very impressed. Like, seriously, for what it is, it's really, really good. Is it the newest, the greatest? Probably not. Does it matter? I don't know. The reason why I say I don't know is because I haven't had wheel-to-wheel racing. I think Jimmy Broadbent mentioned that it's got a very, good netcode. What netcode is when two cars are, or three or four cars are close to each other. The problem you have is that just as they hit each other, the game sometimes has to make a bit of an approximation of where you would be, because of course there's a slight delay in the game itself, and so sometimes you'll clip a car but you weren't even close to them. So let's just see. Okay, select camera. Was it as cool as it looked? No. I mean, there we go, drifting through the trees. Okay, so maybe we can go to free flight and did I just forget my button setup? Stand up. No. Strange. I had it configured so that I can move around. Okay, oh well, boo-hoo. So let's just... Yeah, a little drift. Actually, let's go... Really good replays, actually. Hang on. Let's just go through that. Hide it. Let's just watch that last section flying through. I think that was YouTube corner. Don't quote me. Okay, so this is obviously helicopter cam. Yeah, let's go to something a little bit more on the ground. Yeah, we caught some air. Well done, BMW. See that rear wheel? That's way too low. Did I mess up my height adjustments? Oh, shit, that's hot. Woo! All right. That was fun. Nice. All right. All right, team. There we go. First Raceroom stream in the books. A couple of things we need to improve on, but overall, I had a lot of fun. If you're watching this now, maybe afterwards, please, in the comments below, tell me what you liked, tell me what you didn't like. We're going to make these small incremental changes. You know, I'm doing a lot of streams of different things at the same sort of period, roughly. Like I did a really cool stream on DCS Digital Combat Simulator last weekend, and so that's also a lot of setup with green screen and, you know, joysticks and all kinds of stuff. And so every time we do stuff, we learn this and this and this and this. And so again, taking things to the next level. Yeah, really enjoyed it. I'd love to hear from you. Join my Discord. Like I said, it's cool if we can create a little community of people that want to play Raceroom, that want to play the Nürburgring or other tracks. You know, not everybody loves Nürburgring like I do. And also, you know, Super Touring and so forth. So get in there, get commenting, get subscribing. Please hit a like. You know, go check out on my socials. I'm trying to get into a much better cadence of dropping a cool image or a video and, you know, some informative stuff. So yeah, tune in for more. But look, thanks again to Stream Beats by Harris Heller. They're awesome. I mean, Matrix Melody is be jamming right now, man. And just have an awesome weekend wherever you are. My next stream will be on Sunday, and I'm going to do, I believe, 2 streams. So go check out my schedule, which is again in my website plan. Hey, have a good one. Catch up later. Ciao.